What's going on, everyone? You were listening to WSOU. I am Nick, and I am here with Michael Sweet from Stryper. What's going on, man?
Hey, buddy. Just here on the bus at a truck stop, getting showered and doing laundry and touring.
I know. It's very, very exciting. You guys are out doing the 30th anniversary of To Hell with the Devil, which is a really, really awesome thing, that the fact that that album is still standing up so well today, and I'm sure it has a lot of, special meaning to you to be able to go out and play it every night.
It does, and obviously it's a celebration, 30 years of that album, which is really incredible. 30 years, more than 30 years of us being together and with the original lineup and still doing it. And it's great to be able to play the songs that we have. Some songs we haven't played basically for 30 years. "Rockin' the World" and "All of Me" and "Holding On." And it's cool. It's cool going through the entire album, and fans are really loving it.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now, are you also filtering in, because you guys have a brand new album that's been out for about a year now, are you filtering in some new stuff as well?
Oh, yeah. We do the To Hell with the Devil set. First, we start with the video.
Okay.
About a 14-minute video that documents the making of the album.
Oh, cool.
It's me giving a history of the band. Then we come out, we do the entire album, To Hell with the Devil. Then we take 5 or 6 minutes, leave the stage, come back out, and we do an entire other set.
Oh, wow.
That's made up of new songs and other classics as well.
So you're playing like a double set, basically?
It is a double set, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's awesome then, because I thought it was just going to be, a lot of bands, they go out, they play the album, and then they play maybe like 2 or 3 other classics at the end of the set.
Yeah, no, we do a whole other set, man.
Oh, wow.
I think the second set is comprised of, I want to say, maybe 10 songs.
Okay. That's awesome.
11 songs, and it's it winds up being about a 2-hour set, give or take.
Okay, that's awesome. And I know I saw you're pulling out one of the Sabbath covers as well on this tour, I heard.
Yeah, we've been doing Heaven and Hell. Sometimes we'll do Shout It Out Loud. Sometimes Van Halen ain't talking about love.
Ooh.
We're talking about doing adding Carry On Wayward Son back to the set, so it's kind of fun.
That's awesome. So you've been revolving the set every night, or just like a couple songs here and there?
A couple songs here and there. We'll throw in something, or we'll not do it the next night, or we have this thing called My Fans Demand, where it's an application you can download, and then throughout the show you can vote for our encore.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we come out and do whatever encore got the most votes. So the encore changes every night.
Okay. That's pretty cool. And
it's very cool.
Yeah, and then obviously one of the most interesting things about this tour is the fact that since you're celebrating the album, you brought the original outfits back, and which I think is awesome, because obviously the image of the band is, something that a lot of people remember. But was it, kind of that anxious moment of whether or not everyone's suit would fit again?
Yeah, dude, totally. It's like, it's one of those things where, we're wearing those old outfits. They're not all original.
Oh, okay.
Some of them are original. Some of them are not. They're basically, remakes and duplicates of the originals.
Right.
But it's fun to bring them out and wear them, and that was such a big part of that album.
Right.
It'd be kind of silly to go out and do the album without wearing those, or at least that's what we felt. Right,
for sure. Now, how do you think that, the image really did for the band? Because I know a lot of people, they know you because of, the yellow and black.
You there?
Yep.
Okay. I think the image is just as important as the music and the message. I mean, and sometimes, oddly enough, people remember us for that and that alone.
Right.
And that gets a little bit of to be a little bit of a bummer when you're talking to someone, they don't remember any of your songs, or the band.
Right.
You mention the yellow and black, and then they say, "Oh yeah, I remember that." But it all works together. It's all important, and it all makes up who we are and who we were for sure.
For sure. And now another thing that it's kind of been, very interesting. A lot of fans are kind of unsure what's been going on. But, you guys have made a couple statements that after this tour, you're going to be taking a little bit of a break. But you're not going to be breaking up. Tim has some things that he's going to be working on, and you guys are going to take some time and, kind of reassess everything. What can you kind of tell us about, what we're going to see going forward?
Well, some choices were made that affected the band and made us have to step back, kind of forced us to step back,
right,
and reevaluate who we are and how we're going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
without going into all the gory details. That being said, we have no plans of stopping. I mean,
Right.
we had considered it and thought, well, maybe we should, but then we realized, well, that's just not fair to us.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fair to the fans.
Right.
So we're going to continue on for sure. We just don't know how and when exactly.
Right. Is this something that would be the three of you going on without him, or hopefully taking this time and then getting everyone back together on the same page?
Well, I mean, that remains to be seen,
Right.
But it's very possible. And I'd probably go as far as to say even probable.
Okay. Because I do.
I mean, but we don't really know quite yet.
Right.
But, it's something that very well could happen. Absolutely.
Okay. Because I think that was always something I remember we talked about a year ago, and how you thought it was so important that you guys had been, the original four for so long. So I just wanted to kind of touch on where that was at.
And it is. I still feel that way.
Right.
It is important.
Mm-hmm.
But sadly, sometimes things happen that keep that from happening.
For sure.
And things, people make decisions and choices, and unfortunately, it does affect other people many times, and then you have to reevaluate things. And but that is the ideal situation for it to be the original lineup.
Right. For sure.
But sometimes things get in the way of that, and that's sad. But again, thinking about it more and sleeping on it more, I think about how if we were to disband or dissolve or stop, it really wouldn't be fair to the fans. It wouldn't be fair to the other guys, and it's important to keep that in mind as well.
For sure, yeah, because you guys are still going very strong. This is a big tour, and even the new album, you guys have still putting out great music. Honestly, it's some of the, my favorite songs you guys have put out. So you guys are definitely still, wheeling and dealing. You're not one of those bands that's just kind of out there and, kind of treading water. You guys are really still going very strong.
Absolutely, and we're going to keep going.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We're going to do another album.
Okay.
We just don't have it on the books yet, but we've already got a deal in place with the label.
Okay.
And that's going to happen, and there's going to be more touring
Awesome.
at some point. I'm just looking at it because of what's taken place. It's a good opportunity for me to go out and do some solo touring.
Okay.
And we're going to do another Sweet Lynch album and do some Sweet Lynch touring as well.
Awesome, because I was actually about to ask you whether or not you would be doing some solo touring on hiatus, so that's good to hear, because honestly, I was going to also we'll talk about it now, is the new solo album you put out, One-Sided War, has been doing very, very well. I really enjoy it a lot, and I think it's great because, a lot of people see solo albums kind of, shaky. A lot of people have differing opinions on them and, what they represent and whether or not, to take them with a grain of salt. But this one really stands up well. So what kind of was the direction for this one? Because it has a lot of Stryper elements, but at the same time, you can see, you did some different things, whether, on the subjects that you were writing or different instrumental things here. And you had a really great lineup as well. So kind of give me what you were going around with this time.
Well, I mean, for a long time, when I do solo albums, I like to obviously branch out and experiment and try different things that you might not hear on a Stryper album.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole point of a solo album.
Right.
But I've heard for years and years and years from, not a lot of people, but certainly a good amount of people, that, I like the solo stuff, but it's nowhere near as heavy, or it's not the same as Stryper. Right. And this was an album to kind of shut up those kinds of comments and put to rest those kinds of comments, because the goal on this album was to say, really?
Yeah.
You don't think I could do that on my own? You don't think I could get heavy on my own, or put out an album that rivals a Stryper album? And I think that One-Sided War proved that is absolutely 1,000,000% possible.
Oh, for sure. Can't Take This Life is one of the heaviest things I've ever heard you guys do, or you do.
I agree. You know, you got Can't Take This Life. You got Bizarre. You got Golden Age. You got I Am.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I mean, really stuff that's even heavier than Stryper.
For
you
sure.
know, and
yeah.
and I love how it sounds. I love the sonic production quality. I love the musicianship. I think the guys, Will Hunt, Joel Hoekstra, Ethan Brosh, John O'Boyle, they killed it.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and truly some of the best musicians I've ever worked with.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And then I also wanted to ask you, because I thought it was interesting, the song Radio was very are you trying to make a statement about country music now, like that's kind of coming out? Because it seemed like you were trying to, you know, I couldn't tell 100%, but you were kind of making like a social commentary.
It wasn't so much about country music. It was more so about the rock stars that think they can go country and should go country.
Okay.
And not just doing one song, but literally trying to do a full-fledged album and all of a sudden move to Nashville and their country.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And all the people who are fans of their music are supposed to buy it and believe it.
Right.
It's kind of silly.
Yeah, because I thought that was interesting that you made that, because I definitely got the message, but that's interesting to see where that was coming from. But I do agree with you. It's a very, very interesting thing that's been happening recently.
And
There's been quite a few people doing it.
A lot of people doing it, and I think, you know, sometimes it's from a real point of view, or it's legit and they're sincere about it. But I think most of the time it's a money grab,
right?
And you know, people go where it's easier to make it. And country music is the most popular music in the country right now.
Mm-hmm.
Rock music is not.
Right, for sure.
So you know, I think that's more so often enough where it comes from. And it's kind of silly because, I mean, just for example, for a moment, flip that coin and think about, you know, let's say country music started, you know, falling off the charts and rock was top of the charts again. And then you got guys like Blake Shelton and all these guys who are number one right now, all of a sudden throwing on Flying V guitars and leather pants and, you know, growing chops and growing their hair out, and they're trying to do metal.
Yeah.
I mean, it just wouldn't convince me to buy it. I'd say to myself, okay, I'm not buying it. That's not real.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see that. But, you know, another thing is that you got so many different projects, which I think is awesome. You're a very busy guy. So when could we expect you said you were going to do another Sweet Lynch. Is there a timeline for this yet?
Well, we start recording in February, and I'm going to guess it's going to come out in October or November.
All right.
I'm hoping to use the same lineup, which would be, of course, George Lynch, myself, Brian Tichy, and James Lomenzo.
Okay.
But that may not happen. I haven't spoken to Brian and James. I still have to talk to them about budget and whatnot and schedules. And if for some reason they can't do it or they're not available, I'll have to, you know, look elsewhere and hire some other guys. I just worked with Will Hunt, who I love. He would absolutely kill it. There's a few other bass players that I you know, would consider. But my goal is to assemble the same lineup as the last album, as the first one.
Okay. So that would be pretty cool to see.
Oh, yeah.
And then another thing I wanted to mention, too, is I saw you have your son Mikey's got a band, too.
He does. He has a band called Forest Fires. They're great. They're not a hard rock band, but they're putting together some amazing music and creating quite a buzz in Rhode Island, which is where they're based out of.
Okay.
And I think the world might be hearing a lot more about these guys. They're really a cool band.
Okay. Are we going to see them maybe out on the road with you in any kind of circumstance by chance?
You never know. You never know. I mean, it happened before. It certainly could happen again.
Okay. Now, as you know, obviously the father of a musician, being a musician yourself, and then obviously with the status that you have, what's kind of your take on whether or not, you know, you kind of help him out or you let him do things on his own and kind of make himself his own name? What's kind of your stance?
Well, I certainly help him out. Well, I help him out and do all that I can to, you know, get him some direction and whatnot, whether it's with management or labels or, you know, putting him on the Stryper tour back in 2009.
Right.
So I do everything that I can, but at the same time, often enough, my hands are tied and there's not a lot I can do because it's a really tough music world out there. I mean, it's difficult to make things happen for Stryper, you know?
For sure, yeah.
but I do what I can. I support them 100%. I think they're a great band, and I'll continue to do whatever I can to help them achieve their goals and their dreams, for sure.
Definitely. It's great to hear. And that's all I got. Is there anything you want to add wrapping up?
No, man, I just want to say I appreciate the time. God bless everybody listening, and we love you and look forward to seeing you out on the road.
Of course. Awesome. Thank